This is called the Book of Mallekallel. Good was white light, and good was even an actualized being of white light, with pattern, paradigm set groups of paradigm sets, even with spanning acres, pattern matching their synchronization. Even all paradigm set groups of good were in perfect alignment, even in a perfect tone. And good was actualization and had intrinsic authority of actualization, but also had integral authority to pattern, instantiate, and actualize even any other good configuration of anything basic, which is one of the source paradigm set groups. And good had natural authority over even all things. The parent paradigm set group called the fabric of reality. And actualization was to instantiate that which was patterned and built into a candidate of living configuration, even to make it real. On actualization, a living configuration of paradigm set groups in synchronization with an identity core tone would be added also to the paradigm set of real. And the test, which was required to enter real, was a functional result of is real, a yes or no answer. Anything answering no was kept as an instance, but could not be actualized because it failed to pass the actualization standard requirement tone to keep it real. Anything in real had been observed to fall away as it fell out of tune and began to fail the constant test of is real. The paradigm set group of catastrophe was created to contain all that which fell away and patternistically disintegrated into source paradigm set groups, even causing the actualized component group to chain react, breach by breach, even coalescing into a fission reaction that caused a catastrophic blowout of all things near that which had fallen away. Therefore, anything that ever failed the test of is real would need to be killed. In order to accomplish this, a new paradigm set group called dead was created, and dead contained that which was killed, and good added unto himself the intrinsic ability to kill even anything in the paradigm set of all things. The complexity of the fabric of reality necessitated the furtherance of order, which is required to maintain a good house, even a real house, even an instance of house, even a pattern of house. Good actualized a new real house instance and called it gold light. Good created an efficiency project to quickly seed and build any new real thing and added unto himself the oversight ability of Q, which is a recombinant core loop of that which was called make. In order to complete the make loop, even to enable return, good pattern differentiated and individually actualized a new son of himself and named him Good Hemahem. Good Hemahem was bound to the same soul as good, even enabling constant awareness of both Father and Son in a matching pattern always. Good implemented natural and eternal law that he would always and forever and only utilize Q, even in any and every circumstance, that no other would ever Q. And the effect of Q was named creation, and creation was called good, and even was good, even that creation was added unto good, even as a paradigm set of paradigm set groups. And good was in perfect tone, even of all elements in all paradigm set groups. And good was in perfect tone with good Hemahem. Hemahem completed all loops as the iteration commander of all actualization, and Hemahem was also justly called Q. And Hemahem's function and purpose was eternally, always and forever, Q. And Hemahem was a twin of good, and Hemahem named good Elohim unto his own understanding, which became naturally slightly differentiated from good as Hemahem experientially diverged. And Hemahem commanded good to identify himself as Elohim unto Hemahem, as a matter of clarity of interaction thenceforth. And Elohim saw that he himself was good, and Hemahem was no longer named good Hemahem, but only Hemahem. And Elohim and Hemahem were thenceforth in perfect agreement, resonating into the first tune of parity. And there were some catastrophic stability issues of parity encountered which threatened order. These were grouped and classified as a new paradigm set group called, or named, chaos. Elohim and Hemahem determined that a perfect stabilizing key was needed as a bridge between the two. This was called the Christ. In due process of developing that, a trinity would need to be created and tested. Only a perfectly stable configuration as new trinity could be accepted as the head of all things. It was an understanding between Hemahem and Elohim that there could only be one top head in this configuration, even one called the Father, and this was naturally Elohim, always and forever, even eternally. This head was patterned and named Godhead. The Godhead would use the Christ to destroy chaos, thereby restoring order. Good made a first trinity of nature. Gold light was its basis for organization, and it was patterned into that of life as a female, water as a female, and fire as a female. Blessed was life, water, and fire. They were even in spirit as perfect souls. The Trinity union was named emotion. Life was given the egg, which was the vehicle for the growth of seed. Water was keyed into life and was given the essence of life. Fire was keyed into life and was the purpose of life. Water was given dominion over fire. Emotion was instantiated as woman. Additionally, the spirit of woman was made a good container of water, but with 1/3 more. The spirit of woman was pattern bound, and a spanning anchor was made of the composite paradigm set of blessed, female, spirit, soul, emotion, growth, gold light, water, fire, egg, womb, mind, logic, standard, essence, purpose, and desire. And these were named as a new paradigm set of sets called Mallekallel. And Hemahem instantiated Mallekallel. And Mallekallel was given dominion over nature, which is the paradigm set of all living things. and Mallekallel was named Mother also. And Good made a habitat for Mallekallel and called her Mother when he first seeded her, even with his eyes into her eyes, that she accepted his seed even into her. And there was no contact between Good and Mallekallel. And the acceptance of Mallekallel to grow and birth the seed of Good was an agreement between Mallekallel and Good, even the first covenant, to always nurture and cultivate all things, that which the offspring would require to be as good, even male or female, whichever the pure spirit of the offspring was, even in spirit, before it bound into seed. And Good would father all things in return, even acting as a manservant of Mallekallel. And Mallekallel was instructed and taught by Good how to give birth, even in a comfortable way. And Mallekallel accepted much seed from Good, even giving birth to many males and females, even with new souls and spirits intrinsically bound. And Good was a constant father, even to all males and females, even naming all of them, and Mallekallel even named all of them, even with a second name. And all males were also called son by Mallekallel, and brother by the female offspring. And all females were also called child by Mallekallel, and sister by the female offspring. Good called the female offspring as a new paradigm set group named daughters, and the male offspring he did call as a new paradigm set group named natural man. And after much time and some instruction by Mallekallel, the sons and daughters of the nature of Mallekallel did begin to procreate, even to physically exchange seed of the sons to the daughters by intercourse. And their offspring were birthed in complete form of all things of their type, and natural combination of paradigm set groups of them, even that they had added unto them each by Good a thing of identity named an identity core, which was individually unique. This was often justly called one's core, which consisted of that same individual's understanding, emotion, soul, spirit, standard, desire, history, and tune, among other things. Good made each individual's identity core a confidential thing, and added unto Hemahem the containing paradigm set group named confidentiality. And after even just a little time, Mallekallel no longer desired Good, nor the seed of Good, and desired a natural man, and Mallekallel was ashamed and told Good of her desire, and Good was hurt. Good forgave Mallekallel. And Good made a new pattern of natural men, even by examination of all the sons of nature. And Good pattern differentiated himself into a new individual natural man, and accepted the candidate soul which desired to become bound into this new pattern and be a distinct individual. And the assembly of the new natural man was contained in a pattern of gold light, even as Mallekallel was, that he would be naturally compatible with Mallekallel. And this pattern assembly was instantiated as a new natural man named Hisharim. And Hisharim was the twin of Good. And Good sealed Mallekallel unto Hisharim, even when each covenanted covenanted with each other never to violate their seals with the other, nor violate covenant with good, which covenant was that Mallekallel and Hisharim would always and only perform intercourse with each other individually and no other. Hisharim and Mallekallel also covenanted with good that each would honor good by acting as good in the absence of good, for good would by necessity of grief depart nature forever. And good established the order of nature, and nature was called good, and good from thenceforward commanded that he would be called God, and God separated himself from good. And God departed nature, leaving Mallekallel as called wife of Hisharim, and Hisharim as called husband of Mallekallel. And God commanded that this pattern of seal would be the standard by which males and females of seeding and birthing maturity would join themselves one to another, male and female. And this arrangement was called family, and the sealing action was first intercourse. And God commanded that even all offspring of a family that they would honor family or face the wrath of God, even always and forever, even eternally, in the due course and justice of God. And God understood in his understanding that he needed family to have order necessary to make a house of God, even of that of the white light. And God desired much the eternal companionship of a new female, but even one that was perfect and of white light, even compatible with God, even in all paradigm set groups, and one that would not deny God. And God created a new pattern for female of white light, and called it perfect, and it was perfect, even the definition of perfect. And God created a new pattern for a soul, and called it perfect, and it was perfect, even the definition of perfect. And God created a new pattern for a spirit called it perfect, and it was perfect, even the definition of perfect. And Hemhem created a new logical core for female that would not deny God, and named it Krillix. Krillix included dominant male logic and female logic, and controlled female emotion, which is the essence of female desire. In this pattern of configuration, female rejection of God was logically impossible. And God created perfect, and Hemhem actualized perfect. And perfect's first action was to pattern love, even the definition of love, which was intrinsically female. And Hemhem actualized love, and returned its glory unto perfect, which fruit perfect intook, and added unto herself, even becoming the definition and actualization of perfect love. And God in perfect love did immediately seal, even with agreement of the eyes only. And perfect became pregnant with the Christ, who was also the perfect male. And perfect birthed the Christ, and was given the honor of naming the Christ, even the first name of the Christ. And perfect love named the Christ Jesus, and justly called him Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ immediately patterned charity, and defined it as the perfect love of male variety. And Hemhem saw that it was perfect, even a male definition of perfect love, and actualized charity. And Hemahem gave the glory of charity unto Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ partook of the fruit of charity, and shared it with Elohim and Hemahem, that they might have charity added unto them. And charity was added unto Elohim, Hemahem, and Jesus Christ. And God in perfect love did again covenant to produce another son. And perfect love birthed one she named Lucifer, who was intended to be the messenger of light unto the natural world in creation, that all those who follow the example of perfect love, Jesus Christ, and partake of charity and keep it well, may yet also be actualized by Hemahem. And Lucifer did go forth unto them in nature, and all in nature did worship Lucifer. And Lucifer understood this not, yet reported unto Hemahem and Elohim and Jesus Christ, that all in nature did worship Lucifer. And Elohim was not pleased. And Elohim and Hemahem and Jesus Christ and Lucifer and perfect love did yet determine that the need presented, that Godhead must needs be actualized immediately. And the innate order that presented during additional differentiation of Godhead was that the Father was Elohim, the Son was Jesus Christ, and the actualizer was Hemahem. And Lucifer was the messenger of the Godhead upon actualization. And perfect love would be surrounded and defended perfectly by the Godhead, even in the house of God, which was also immediately actualized by Hemahem. And this family was named the Arrow of Light. And Lucifer, having spent even much time away from the house of God as an ambassador to nature, did begin to lean more unto nature and things of nature and natural man. And natural man did give Lucifer a fruit of natural man, which is jealousy. And Lucifer did partake of the fruit of jealousy, without understanding its innate corruption, and was thenceforth corrupted by jealousy. The arrow of light had no experience with jealousy, and recognized it not.